Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Moonshiners Racing League and the OB Builders Cup Series here on V Speed. And tonight, the race, the Ragin Cajun Bail Bonds 200 at Dover Motor Speedway. Yeah, I know it used to be called Dover Raceway, or Dover International Speedway, but it's called Dover Motor Speedway since I think SMI bought them out. So, well, tonight going to be a great race. Dover, one of my favorite tracks, and man, I'll tell you what, we're going to see some speed around this track. It has always put on a good show. It's got a little kick there, kind of like a little spicy sauce. You get too much of it, and it's going to bite you. And it has a unique ability to clean you out. So tonight going to be incredible racing. And we'll take a look at it right here. Dover, Delaware is where it's at. 1 mile. It's a monster mile. And you see the banking, 24 degrees in the turn. That's pretty stout. And these guys are going to be going from the front stretch down into the corners, up on the exits. It's, man, what a lot of fun. And you can see that layout right there. And the corners are relatively close to being about the same, but there are some very particular. But the concrete just always puts on a great show. Very tough to deal with. And we're going to see it tonight. It's going to be very difficult, but it's a lot of fun. I tell you, if you want to have fun on iRacing, there's a couple tracks I want you to go to, and that's Darlington, Dover, and dadgummit, if it ain't, oh man, Bristol Motor Speedway. Man, that's another concrete track. So I tell you, a lot of great tracks on the service, but if you want to see a good one, Dover can't hardly beat it. All right, well, let's take a look at your race schedule. We'll see where we've been, where we're going. We're on the second column there now. We're in the, we just got through Talladega. What a wild, crazy race that was. And here we are, just not quite halfway through the season as a championship race in November. And so we got a long way to go. A lot of opportunity for folks that are down in the point standings to make their way up towards the front. Speaking of which, Matt Cox takes over the points lead after last week. Alex Coffey not having a great race at all. He's going to fall down to third place, and Randy Mullins there in second. Tim Wortman Jr. there in fourth, looking for his first win. I believe in 83 races, I believe is what he told me. So Tim Wortman Jr. looking for that win. He would love to get that goose egg off of that win column. You got Paul Gallimore, who won last week. Man, what an incredible race that was. Just a great one to be a part of. One of the most exciting Talladega races I've seen on the service in a long time. Kyle Holden there in sixth position. Hunter Carmichael in seventh. Barry Sanders in eighth. Chris Davis in ninth. And Aaron Matthews in 10. You can see the rest of the top 20 there on the side. Man, I tell you, there's a lot of opportunity for movement. You see Kenny Coppola there on the right side at 11th with that win, so that makes a big difference. But stage points, winning a couple stages, winning the race, to get those max points, you can really easily jump up the standings. But right now, Matt Cox going to hold on to it for now. Take a look at our driver cams. Who do we have on cam here tonight? Well, we've got a couple different little point of views. I love it. You got Brandon Bikey there with the VR headset on. Love to see those. Those are really cool to watch the guys go around the track with those VR headsets. And you got Chris Spear down on the bottom left, but you also have Chris Spear's feet on the top right. So we're going to get to see a little bit of foot cam as they go around Dover and watch how he's working that throttle and getting this car around the track. We got Barry Sanders, we got Tim Wortman Jr., and of course Jeff Taylor giving us a little bit of insight. Well, qualifying is just about over. So, I'd love to talk to some folks. So, let's see who we can get in here. We might bring Chris Spear in here and talk to him and see what he thinks about his foot cam here tonight. I got Chris Spear in the booth. Chris, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Well, tonight we got a little thing, and I appreciate you providing this. And I'm not, I don't know if I got to pay for this or what I've got to do. But got a foot cam for you tonight, and talk a little bit about that, and talk about Dover tonight. What's the setup feeling like for you? What are you expecting? And tell me how you're going to try to get that dub here tonight.
Well, in traditional Moonshiners fashion, all of our practices were cool, and felt great in the car. And now we're in the race session, and everything's blazing hot. And for some reason, every set feels tight. So a lot of adjustments. A lot of guys are going to be learning like what they're going to need in this first little stage. The foot cam, it is not a monthly subscription type service. I figured we were doing a lot of shifting tonight in every corner, so it'd be kind of nice to see what that looks like. And it's kind of weird, NASCAR is not used to shifting in the corners, but now we get that with the next gen car, and it's a pivotal thing. It's going to be interesting to see who else is shifting in the corners, because not everybody is, and that's interesting because usually if you downshift, you get a little bit of a quicker braking action, but that also means you're going to spin your tires a little bit more early on in a run and could hurt you. Um, but I'm banking on us having a little bit shorter runs because that's what my setup seems to work best with. And yeah, that's why I'll be shifting in the corners.
Well, that's cool. Well, you're starting in 24th. You're going to need that higher gear to get up through the field. It's going to be tough to pass. But talk a little bit about these restarts. Dover is known for treacherous restarts. And talking about getting in the right gearing, Dover is a scary one on these restarts, spinning the tires. We've seen so many pile-ups on the restarts. How are you going to attack those restarts and make sure that you don't end up sitting the wrong way before the start-finish line?
Yeah, absolutely. Dover has two areas of concern when it comes to restarts. Not only do you have to worry about spinning your tires, because if they're hot, they're easily going to be slick. You're going to want to do whatever you can to try to get the power down. And I think you're going to see guys shifting a little bit earlier than they normally would to try to help reduce that. You're not going to see many first gear starts here because if all you're going to do is spin your tires, if someone tries that on a restart, we're going to end up going right back to a caution real quick. But beyond that, coming out of turn 2 on restarts is incredibly difficult. If you have someone that's impatient, that they're trying to make it 3 wide, or even fake that they're going to make it 3 wide, it makes that turn coming out of there so much more difficult. That's probably where you're going to see the bulk of the crashes happen tonight. It's coming out of 2 or entering 3, somebody trying to dive bomb in. That's where I think you're going to see the most of them. If you see them coming out of 4, it's just because late in the run, people are trying too hard and they smack the wall coming out of it as they get tighter and tighter.
Well, and we know that like you said, the run goes on, it gets tighter and tighter, and you start to almost drift up the track, diamond it a lot more, kind of like Corey LaJoie was at the end of his fuel run last week at Dover. So, I mean, whenever you get ready to get to those long fuel runs, which we don't think we're going to have, I mean, we feel pretty confident that it's going to be a tough race, very, very close to Martinsville, Richmond. So, you really got to get all that you can. But if we do get a long run, how will you deal with passing drivers when the setup is showing to be a little bit tighter on your side? It's going to make it a little bit tougher to get side by side. When you come off a 2, come off a 4, it gets real tight there if you're side by side. So what's the trick there?
Well, the trick's going to be going where they're not, right? So everyone's going to try to go and enter on the bottom lane. If you can figure out a way to get to their outside, get into the corner, they're not just going to plow up into you. So they're going to lift coming out of the corner. And so if they don't, they're going to end up hitting you. So they'll ruin their race by doing that. So I think you'll see a lot of guys try to figure out ways to make the up high work. If you can make it roll on the bottom, good for you. I don't expect that my car is going to be able to do that as well as Martin Truex Jr. was able to do this weekend.
Absolutely. Well, good luck, Chris. We're going to be looking forward to watching your feet cam. Now, tell me, where am I putting you back? I forgot where I grabbed you from.
Warrior Racing.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to put him back down in there and want to thank him for giving us a little bit of time. But, man, we got to jump right into the grid and get this thing rolling. So, tell you what, let's go ahead and do that. I go clicking and clicking around trying to find somebody on the track so I can throw us up there and get through the grid. All right, let's see who's going to start on the front row. Alice Coffee got the pole here tonight. Blazing fast time, 22.526. That is quick around this track, I think. Brandon Bikey there in second. He's going to round out your front row. Starting in third, Caden Norfrey. There's 11 of them. Golly. There's 10 other Caden Norfrey. It's such a specific name that for there to be 10 other ones, it's pretty wild. Shane Parrish is going to start in the 4th position. In 5th, going to be Kenny Coppola with Jeffrey Taylor in 6th. In 7th, Kyle Holden with Brandon Fetterplace in 8th. In 9th, Blaine Wilson and Chris Davis. Blaine Wilson looking to have a great race tonight. We'll see if he can complete one and have a good finish. Joey Burchett. I'm gonna butcher that one. Joey, butcher that name is what it's going to be. Randy Mullen's going to start in 12th. 13th, Matt Cox, your points leader with Tim Wortman Jr. on the outside. Paul Whitley going to start in 15th with Sean Rogers in 16th. 17th, Darren Mullins with Stephen Gibson in 18th. 19th is Garrett Crawford and Nigel Christensen. Hunter Carmichael, Jared Clark, and Barry Sanders and Chris Spear. 25th, Nicholas Atwood, Nick King in 26th. 27th, Ed Bowles Jr., Jamison Middlemiss in 28th. 29th, Paul Gallimore, Johnny Shade in 30th. 31st, Darren Mills, Aaron Matthews, Justin Belmont, John Bender, Warren Young, Ryan Huff, and Dean Motley and Matt Medler. And that rounds out your grid. Let's take a look at your race analysis. 200 laps, 45 and 90 are your stage breaks. You're going to need them here. It's going to be wild and crazy as they come down the backstretch. We're going to get ready to go green. 6 tire sets, 1 green, white, checkered if you need it. 100% fuel load, of course, open setup. So we're going to see what these guys kind of cooked up here for the setup. But they are getting ready to roll here. 200 laps at Dover. I cannot wait. We'll see. How long does it take to get a caution? Oh, it looks like they waved off. I think it's a mile and under that you go 2 laps. So the broadcaster should have known that. No, actually, Barry Sanders extended the pace lap. So appreciate that. Give me a little bit more time to talk. But yeah, Dover, incredible. And you'll watch as slowly they go down into the corners. You can just see how much banking there is. And this is a roller coaster. I mean, it can't be overstated enough just how wild this track is and how much fun it is to drive. It is easily one of my favorite tracks in real life and here on the sim. Any chance I get to run Dover, I'm out there running in any car. I mean, you put those little what are the downhill cars? You put it at Dover, I'm gonna drive it. It's gonna be a good time. So, all right, now we're gonna get ready to go green. 200 laps first stage at 45. That's pretty quick. They can run about 75 to 80 laps on fuel, so I think tires will be a major issue if we do get some long green flag runs. So we'll see how that all plays out. Pace car gonna pull in. We're gonna get ready to go green. Barney's got the green flag in hand, and green flag is out here at Dover in the Ragin' Cajun 200. Look at how many cars are coming off of turn number 2. And they all make it. One in the wall, but he's able to keep it going. They're 3 wide back there. But up front, we've already got a battle for the lead. And it's like Paul Whitley may have had some issues. It might have been my timing and scoring messing up on me. But up front, Brandon Bikey takes the lead early as Alex Coffey is going to settle in here in second place. And all throughout the field, I mean, there is cars all over the place. Back here, you can see a cluster of drivers. Sean Rogers, Paul Whitley. We've got a few drivers who are filling in for tonight. So Joe Burchett is subbing in for Derek Pemberton. Sean Rogers for Shane Davis, and Shane Parrish for Terry Atwood. So you see those names. Those are sub drivers up front. Got a battle for the lead as Alex Coffey going to fight back here, try to take this lead, and clean air going to be incredibly important. Now, I think that here on iRacing, the dirty air factor that they've been talking about pretty much all week long on various podcasts, Twitter has been wild and crazy about the dirty air. And here on iRacing, it is not as profound as in real life. There is definitely dirty air, and if you get behind somebody, it definitely will take the air off of it, but it's not as bad as in real life. So we won't see any major aero blocking, which will be a good thing. You definitely can get up to someone's bumper and work them over. It's not that bad here in sim. So a little bit different than what we saw in real life, but clean air is still incredibly important. and it'll be a pretty big advantage. So we've already seen Alex Coffey jump out front early after Brandon was able to get by him on the initial start and trying to keep that 15 machine out front. And so far, so good. 6 laps, and we are still under green flag racing. If we could get like a bunch of green flag laps, get a full fuel run, that would be amazing. So I'm hoping to see something like that tonight as we check in here on Shane Parrish, Kyle Holden, Brandon Fetterplace, as they are battling here for 6th, 7th, and 8th, and Blaine Wilson there in the 19th, or the 9th position. Excuse me. And on board Blaine Wilson, you can just see just how they drop down into the corner. And they're going to actually drive up. This is such a difficult corner. As the tires are brand new, it actually drives really well. But as they start to wear, you're going to see that groove kind of move out. As, man, we got to go up front, man. We got a 3-way battle brewing up here. As they were almost 3 wide for the lead here just a moment ago. You can see how quickly it changes when you get side by side. Kenny Coppola gets to the inside of Brandon Bikey, and there's already 3 car lengths to Alex Coffey as they're running side by side. And you really want, it's very much like Darlington, as Kenny Coppola not going to be able to get in line. But it's very much like Darlington, where you almost really need to get single file because the line is such. And we'll go on board here if we can with Alex Coffey and watch as he goes down to the corner. You want to drift up just a little bit, gas it up, point the car off the corner. He's going to have Brandon Bikey looking to the outside. Coffey's going to close the door. Now he's looking down to the inside. Coffey's going to give it to him. But, yeah, I mean, you have to kind of drive in on the bottom, push up in the middle, and then drive off the bottom. And that makes this sort of a one-lane track when you're running by yourself. But once you get side by side, you're not able to do that, and that definitely will slow you up. Brandon Bikey taking the lead here back from Alex Coffey. So we'll take a look on board with Brandon here as he is got that VR headset. And for those of you who don't know what VR is, virtual reality. So he's not looking at a computer screen. He is actually looking at a 3D environment that is giving him depth perception. That honestly, if you've never done a racing game in VR, it is worth it to look at it and check it out, as it gives you an amazing feeling in the car. I don't think it's that much of an advantage. I wouldn't say it's an advantage, but it definitely gives depth perception. I think the first thing I noticed when I had a VR on was coming out of pit road, there's always a cone at the end of pit road, and I pulled up to that cone and I was like, oh my God, it looks so real. So VR is a really cool technology here in racing, because you're just sitting in a chair and it's kind of making that environment around you. The graphics not as good, but if you can look past that, it is a really cool experience. You get you a butt kicker on the seat or get you a full motion rig, I mean, you can get pretty dang close to the real thing. But Brandon Bikey feeling confident out front as he leads here early, but Kenny Coppola on the move here right behind him in that 77 machine. He is trying to get up here and maybe take the lead. You can see Kenny running that higher line, and he's trying to get a better run off of the exit of the corner. And really, honestly, that angle also keeps you from pushing out on exit and hitting that wall. That turn 2 walls. Harry's going to look down to the inside. Right here, you can see that wall will come up and grab you, and Kenny Coppola going to go to the lead here. Alex Coffey is going to take advantage of that side-by-side action and try to take over second place. But you really want to be in that angle where you point off the corner, you come off straight, and you don't have to worry about smacking that wall. And that caution is out. First one of the night. Looks like Nick King is gone around. He is slow on the track. And our first caution of the race here on lap number 17. So, hey, I would not have, I think my over-under was probably like 5 or 6. So, hey, impressive first run there. That's way better than I expected with 38 cars out on the track. All right, well, let's go back and see exactly what happened to him here. Nick King and that 24 William Byron looking scheme. Down on the inside, and yeah, just makes a little bit of contact there off the corner. Oh, that was the 64 of Darren Mullins who went around with him. And it's just a on board. You're going to see it get tight here. Darren Mills just gets, Darren Mullins gets a little bit loose there. They make a little bit of contact. Darren able to really save it, but goes up into the outside wall, and then they kind of spin down to the inside. So first caution of the night, Darren Mullins and Nick King. They're going to come down pit road, get a little bit of damage fixed. No fast repair in this series, so you're going to want to make sure that you get that damage fixed early, especially with a couple stages. That looks like that's what he's going to do. Both those drivers are going to come down, get some of that damage fixed if they can, and try to get that car ready to go for that final stage. Well, in the chat, we got Derek Pemberton. Well, we miss you, buddy. He said he's at military training and has to miss the race. He says, let's go 82. And that is, the 82 is driven by Joey Burchett, excuse me. So, definitely missing you here, Derek, but looks like right now Joey's doing a great job. He's running in the 10th position, so the 82 is so doing a great job so far. Well, nobody comes down pit road other than those that may have come down and got a little bit of fuel. Of course, Darren Mullins and Nick King getting some damage fixed, but no tires taken on this first stop. I think that's probably a smart move. Only 6 tire sets in the entire race, so you do not want to use those too early. And our first caution of the night. But been some pretty good racing up front. It's been pretty wild. So far, your biggest mover is Chris Spears. So, you know, you give him a little foot cam, and all of a sudden he comes alive. Well, Johnny Shade is up 7 positions, so he is on the move at the moment. And so those drivers making some moves, making some passes. So it is possible to get it done. Lap 45 is the stage break, so we'll have a couple more laps, and then we'll have just about 20 laps to the end of this stage. That's going to be a really important stage win. Kenny Coppola is out front right now, and even though we're early in the season, the playoffs come, you know, yeah, we go all the way to November, but that is a full playoff run by the time we get there. So, we run through the summer, and then playoffs get here before you know it, and those playoff points make a huge difference. Those stage wins, getting the stage points, are going to make a massive difference once you get to the playoff. They can take somebody who is winless, and you can score the most points without winning the race. And so if you get up front and finish well in the stages, that could really carry you on through the playoffs. We've seen folks like Christopher Bell do that the last couple seasons, where maybe not just dominant, but able to score a lot of stage points, and it just carries over, and he goes all the way to the Final Four. So really important that you get those early and often if you can, as it can really, really make a difference. Well, last season's winner was Chris Spears, but Kenny Coppola won stage 1, won stage 2, led the most laps, 168 laps he led last season, and he is into the Geico restart zone as they're going to get rolling here for the second restart here on lap 21. Boy, I got a big old grin on my face watching these guys drive around this track. This is such a cool track. I love watching races here. You know, there'll be points in this in this race, and I'll forget to talk just because my mouth will be open. It's just how fun it is. Look at Alex Coffey already jumping out to the outside. He's trying to get a massive run as he shoots up the track coming. He's going to look down at the inside of Brandon Bikey. Down on the inside. I don't know if he's going to be able to complete that pass. We'll see if Bikey can hold off the moment. Now, the tires are starting to wear. They did cool off, so they'll have a couple laps before they get back up to 10. But in a couple laps, those tires are going to be getting old pretty quickly. So you don't want to battle side by side too long here. Kenny Coppola starting to drive away. Oh, they're going to make contact. Alex Coffey down on the inside. He's spinning down the front stretch. No caution yet as somebody's going down. They want to hit him. No, and he saves it. He's able to do a Jimmy Johnson and had a 90-degree angle save from Alex Coffey. Now, he would love the caution to come out, but you don't want to wait too long because it may not, and he was able to save that thing. Just unbelievable. We got to go watch that. Watch that from his perspective on board with Alex Coffey here. Make a little bit of contact. He's trying to save it. And the banking actually gets him back going. I don't know who that is. It was playing with fire, playing a little chicken down on the bottom. But you see Alex Coffey able to get that thing back rolling. But he is going to fall all the way back to 37th position after that half spin. So he is going to have a lot of work to do. And I think Alex Coffey just loves doing that. I think he likes having extra work, have to fight up through the pack. He seems to be doing it almost every week. Now Kyle Holden to the back bumper of Brandon Bikey. Kyle Holden has been somebody's name that I have spoken quite a few times. Kenny Coppola, Brandon Bikey, Kyle Holden, Jeffrey Taylor, those guys have been really lights out the last 4 or 5 weeks. And, man, look at Kyle all over the back bumper of Brandon Bikey as they go down the back straightaway. And you can hear the shifting. Chris Spear was talking about that shifting pre-race. And you can definitely tell that they're shifting down from 5th to 4th to get the run they need off the corner. And if the track temp is not cooperating and the cars are tight, you really need to shift to get that car to rotate from middle exit. It's so important that you make that work. Well, speaking of Chris Spear, we'll check him out. He's in some traffic here. Oh, he's going to make contact with the wall. He's currently running in the 16th position. Let's check out them feet. Jumping them feet, boy. On board with him as he's got Jared Clark down on the inside. Making contact with that wall, and you can see being really easy on the throttle. That's really important. And you can see it's going to be a little bit behind. This is not a perfect exactly. You can see he is already back on throttle here. But watch on exit. He actually lifts off the throttle just a tad on exit, then back on it. That is so smart, and a lot of people look over that. When you're trying to keep that car from over-rotating on exit, you're going to see that little bit of lift right there where he is lifting off the throttle, letting the car settle, and then back on it. And he's doing it. I don't think real NASCAR drivers use the clutch anymore. I think they just yank her into gear. And he is going above and beyond to be as realistic as possible. They're not lifting. He's not lifting the throttle as he gets right to the back bumper to the 3 of Hunter Carmichael. But interesting perspective watching his how he's dealing. And yeah, you see just stabbing the clutch as he's shifting up. I'm gonna go out on the limb and say he knows what he's doing, and it's working. He's trying to run these guys down. He's way better at it than I would ever be. Oh man, we might have some issues here. Can't see. We got Ryan Huff that is slow, Jamison Middlemiss and Justin Belmont having some issues. See if we can get a replay and try to figure out what happened to them. You can see this big old gaggle of cars. The 6 there on the inside of the 10 of Warren Young. We'll see exactly where this all went wrong. Oh, man, the 16 of Jamison Middlemiss just gets loose off the corner, and those guys with nowhere to go. On board with Belmont here. You're going to watch the 16 get loose off the corner. Just getting tight. Actually doesn't get loose. He makes contact with Paul Gallimore. And when that happens, all 3 of those drivers go around, and the caution does come out. All right, well, I'm expecting some pit stops here right now. They are off the pace just a little bit from where they started, but I think at 35 laps, I think you want to come in and take those set of tires. I don't think you want to hold on to them for very much longer. We'll see if they do come down pit road, but I'm really expecting to see somebody come down and take advantage of that if we... Oh, what am I saying? We have 10 laps to the stage. Y'all don't listen to me. So we will not see anybody come down pit road because that would be ridiculous. Nobody so far has ever tried to flip a stage. Now we are seeing Alex Coffey maybe try to do that. A few drivers actually. So maybe, yeah, we're seeing some guys going to try to flip stage. Alex Coffey, I think, is a great opportunity for him to do that. Looks like some other drivers getting some damage fixed. Paul Gallimore, John Bender, Dean Motley, Ryan Huff, all getting damage fixed. Jordan Schmitz comes down and takes 4 tires. So I think some guys that maybe have made some contact with each other, maybe contact with the outside of turn number 2, which is likely a spot where a lot of that happens. See Alex Coffey coming out. He's going to have 4 tires, so he's going to try to make good use of that. Now, the big question is, do you just say, hey, I'm not going to be able to drive up through 27 cars to get up to the front? Do I just take it easy? Just don't push the car at all. Just coast around. Don't really get too much heat in the tires, and then cycle up to the front when the other drivers come down pit road on that 45. So we'll see what he decides to do. I think flipping the stage here for Alex Coffey is a pretty good idea, at least to get that track position back that he lost. So we'll see. Right now, though, Kenny Coppola, Brandon Bikey, and Kyle Holden, Jeffrey Taylor, Shane Parrish, the top 5, they are looking to get that stage win. They're not worried about flipping stages. They're worried about maybe flipping fingers. I don't know. But still a couple laps, I think, to get it all figured out. Well, if you're watching, hey, thank y'all so much for coming on board and watching here tonight. Hope y'all enjoy. If your friends, family, if your sponsors, if you're, hey, just some random visitor watching here on V-Speed, we appreciate you. We're on VSRN, have been for a long, long time, and finally jumped over here to the main channel, V-Speed, just to consolidate everybody into one spot and to really help grow what I like to call a little bit of cross-pollination. And that allows your league to be seen by other leagues. Other drivers may see it. It really does help when you have everybody's broadcasts in the same spot. We're able to broadcast 2 or 3 races at a time. It's just a really cool deal. And Adam Baker, Bradley Cooper over at V-Speed, they do a lot of good work. All the other announcers and producers as well do a great job. So I'm happy to be a part of it. They're gracious enough to let me come in here and just flail around. And so we definitely appreciate it. So if you are not subscribed to V-Speed, I know if you were subscribed to VSRN, go ahead and hit the subscription to V-Speed. Show that VSRN love to V-Speed so we can show that bump and what we bring to the table. And that way when races go off, you're not going to miss it. And you'll have that channel ready to go. And it definitely helps. It helps when you have a bunch of subscribers. I know you think, well, I just go to the channel, click the link. But when we have a bunch of subscribers, that makes your league more visible, makes other people's league more visible. That being visible is such a big tool, especially if you're trying to bring in sponsors and other things like that. So the more visible that your league can be, the better. So let them know, subscribe. That way, we don't make no money off of this. I mean, we don't make any money off the subscriptions or anything like that. So it's not a ploy for that. Just more eyeballs. We love that. All right, getting ready to go green. About 7 laps to go for the stage. And right now, Kenny Coppola is going to lead them down into the Geico restart zone. And a great jump for Kenny as Barney starts flailing around with that green flag, and Kenny Coppola gets out to a quick lead. Brandon Bikey going to gas it up, keep that momentum up on the outside. Actually has to lift. Starts to push there. So, Jeffrey Taylor makes a little bit of contact with that outside wall. And Kenny Coppola enjoying this, going to have that repeat success where he led the most laps, stage 1, stage 2 last season, and he's going to look to continue that. And I think he would love to win the race. And Chris Spear would love for what happened last season to happen. I wasn't here, so I don't know how that all played out, but I bet it was exciting. Check in on your points leader, Matt Cox. He's in that 32 machine, that silver and white machine. It's very similar to the Tyler Reddick scheme from Talladega, him and Blaine Wilson. So your points leader, you're looking down to the inside. I'm assuming they're teammates because they got the same paint scheme, different sponsors. You can see getting a little bit tight in the middle of the corners. Blaine really leans on that door. Does get a good run down the front straightaway. We'll see if he can gas it up here. It's very difficult to make this pass as you want to just gas it up in the middle, and actually Blaine cuts him a break and allows him to take that spot. So Matt Cox, your points leader, moving up. He's up 6 spots from where he started. He goes right up to the top line to try to get a run here on Caden Norfrey in that number 20. And he's going to get it. Wow, Caden did not have a great exit off of 4. And Matt Cox down to the inside, and that's why you use that outside line. I think he actually surprised Matt Cox about how quickly Caden had to check up. And, yeah, Matt was able to avoid it and get around him. But Matt up to 6th position here as we got just a couple laps here in this stage. And Kenny Coppola currently leading the charge. And you're starting to see after 44 laps, everybody starting to fade up in the middle. Watch here as it goes down in the corner. Going to let the car actually drives down to the bottom. Brandon Bikey, though, is running that more of a diamond line, but lap 45 should be white flag, and actually Brandon Bikey got a pretty massive run there. You see Kenny moving up just a little bit, trying to get the run off the corner down the back straightaway. Last time by, Kenny ran right at the bottom, and Brandon right at the top. We'll see if he can do something again. He's going to try to get the run off 4. Here it is. Big old run. And I think they have to complete this lap. Nope. I think I did this last week. Everybody does it differently. But there you have it. Kenny Coppola is your stage 1 winner. A hard charging Brandon Bikey there at the end. Not quite able to do it. So Kenny Coppola, Brandon Bikey, Kyle Holden, Jeffrey Taylor, Shane Parrish, your top 5. Matt Cox in 6th. Blaine Wilson 7th. Randy Mullins 8th. Sean Rogers in 9th. And Caden Norfrey is going to be your top 10. All right. Well, Alex Coffey was able to drive up to the 21st position, so I don't know if he was saving much at all. We'll see if he comes down pit road, if he'll elect to flip the stage. I don't know if 10 laps. I don't know. I'm interested to see what Alex Coffey's going to do here. We'll pay attention to that here as we watch these drivers. For sure going to come down pit road, get 4 tires and fuel as they gear up to get to lap 90 for the 2nd stage here in the Ragin Cajun. Bail Bonds 200. I'm going to be honest with you. That logo ain't big enough. Look at that right there. A little bit bigger. I like that. Coming down pit road. 4 tires and fuel will be the call. And Alex Coffey is going to stay out on track, flip the stage, and get that all-important track position. Looks like Jared Clark in that 69 going to do that as well. Jordan Schmeets, all those drivers we talked about who came down under that last caution as 16 is going to go around as a lucky dog. Everybody coming down in their stall. Jack's up on the right side. One of these days, that'd be great to see all the pit crews. The drivers can see their own pit crew, but we're not able to see it on the broadcast. Kenny Coppola going to get off pit road first, and very close battle between Brandon Bikey and Kyle Holden. It looks like Bikey going to be able to get that spot, so hold on to what will be 6th and 7th there between those 2 drivers. So Alex Coffey going to hold on to the lead, and since those pit stops are over, let's talk to your stage winner, Kenny Coppola. Kenny, this Eddie in the booth. You got a copy?
I do. How you doing, Eddie?
Man, I'm doing great, and you are doing great as well. Able to get that stage 1 now. I'm going to try to keep this brief. I know you got a lot of thinking to do. You got to go get that stage win number 2. Now, last season you won stage 1. You won stage 2. You led 183 laps out of 200, but didn't get the win. So how are you going to kind of one-up yourself here tonight? You got that stage 1 win. You got to go for stage win number 2. How you get that win tonight?
Well, last year was a heartbreaker. I took the white flag and caution came out, and it was a big controversy whether I was past the start finish line or not. The race should have been over, in my opinion, but I feel like I got one stolen. This is my favorite track. I really like how technical it is. It's tough to get around here. It feels like the fastest place we go to because of how small it is and banked and how fast we're going. But I drove a little bit too much right front off there. I made a little wedge adjustment, tried to free me up some, and see how it goes. See if we can get back to the front.
All right, well, that 77 is looking fast, so congratulations on that stage win. We'll let you go, and good luck for the rest of the race, Kenny.
Appreciate it, Eddie.
All right, well, there he goes. Kenny Coppola, stage 1 winner, man. What a great drive. That was a lot of fun to watch, and we'll see what Alex Coffey here can do on these older tires. Going to be about 13 laps older tires now. You know, I said this before, you don't have to drive real hard when you're trying to flip the stage. So I wonder if they took it easy, just kind of rode around, coasted, and, you know, just tried not to put too much pressure on those. He knew he was going to flip the stage. So we'll see how beat up those tires are. Alex Coffey, Jared Clark, Jordan Schmeets, and Paul Gallimore, that yellow car, all flipped the stage. The newest tires is going to be Brandon Bikey and Kenny Coppola right behind them. So we are doubled up, though, getting ready to go green here at the beginning of stage number 2. I want to thank OB Builders for their sponsorship of the OB Builders Cup Series. And, you know, I would love to learn a little bit more about these sponsors so I can talk about them. We'll have to get with some of these guys and get the full spiels on these things, and that way I can really give you the full sale. But, man, definitely appreciate them sponsoring this season. Sort of a late sponsorship, about 5 races in. So LB Builders, definitely appreciate them for sponsoring this entire series. Getting ready to go green here. Pace car, get a pull off Alex Coffey. Jared Clark, front row. Barney with green flag in hand, and Alex Coffey just gets gone as Paul Gallimore is having sort of a trouble getting this thing going. See back here, Paul Brandon Bikey is sort of stuck behind him, and we got caution out on the track. Paul Whitley is turned around backwards here in the 74 machine, and caution comes out almost immediately. We'll take a look here on the V-Speed replay and see exactly what happened to him. It's on this restart. He's got Barry Sanders right in front of him. He's got the 38 right behind him. We'll see exactly what happened. I don't know if it started with him. Oh, yeah, just kind of. Ed Bowles Jr. was right behind him. And you can see big damage to the 38 as Barry Sanders got it in the corner, maybe a little bit easier than maybe he thought, the 74. Watch on board with Ed. He's gonna. The 74, I think Paul Whitley, I think he had checked up plenty enough, and then right here it just locks him up, and Ed just not enough time to really make a big maneuver. That was close, and I don't know if Barry Sanders, if he didn't feel it, this is on board with him. Watch how closely Paul Whitley gets to the back bumper. They both get a great restart. And watch this. Woo! So under caution, and those drivers are going to come down. Unfortunately for Ed Bowles, he is missing a front bumper. I don't know if the AMR safety team can go out there and find it for him. He's going to need it. He's going to have quite a bit of damage. That car is not going to handle at all. So going to be a tough night if he plans on trying to make it here to the end. We'll see. But Alex Coffey going to hold on to this spot. Kenny Coppola is able to get up to the second or third position. As you see the 16 of Jamison Middlemiss will get the lucky dog, and I think that will put him back on lead lap, and it does. So he is able to get back on lead lap, get that 16 machine back in contention. Well, Paul Gallimore did not have a great restart on those old tires, and we saw him out on the outside line. You know, wheel spin here at Dover is pretty rough if you're not careful. If you try to start in first, it can be a sketchy thing. And when you have those older tires, you're already in a nervous situation where, you know, you're thinking about you know, you got to go. You're like, okay, I got to go here because I've got older tires. I need to get up there and try to make something happen. And you get a little too excited, hit that gas, and start to spin them a little bit. And then it all kind of goes to you know what, as you start to see those guys come up quickly in your mirror like Barry Sanders saw. And you have to get settled down. So Paul fell back to about 7th position. He would love to see lap 90 quickly here. As he's likely going to continue to fall. Looks like those new tires were making a pretty big difference. We'll take a look at some of our driver cams, see what everybody's doing. Barry Sanders back here in the 21st position. Trying to get that 88 machine up towards the front. All right, getting ready to go back green. Alex Coffey chooses the top line. And I think the idea is that, you know, if I had to guess, I would imagine the idea is that you put a pick between you and Kenny Coppola on those new tires down on the bottom. He's going to start on the bottom of the second row no matter what. And if you go down on the bottom, that's going to pull him along with you. So he's trying to trap Kenny Coppola in that third position and put Jordan Schmeets between him and the 77. So getting ready to go green here into the Geico restart zone. And Alex Coffey does get a great jump. And actually, Jordan Schmeets and Jared Clark do as well. But here comes Kenny Coppola down to the inside quickly. Gets by Jared. And now going to look to make something happen as we go back here to their 2 wide. Paul Gallimore, the 23 of Jeffrey Taylor on the outside. They come off of the corner, and big run by Jeffrey Taylor. He almost made contact with the wall. May have actually brushed it just a little bit, but that 23 looking fast up there on the outside. Woo, and he got close to the wall again. I think we heard it. We heard him make contact. Got Paul Gallimore on the inside, and ooh, Shane Parrish does a little 2-foot smash, and they're going to take him 3 wide down to the corner as he had to really get off the gas as he started to get loose, and ooh, a little bit of contact right behind him. You can see Jeffrey Taylor take a big old breath. He's got a smile on his face, relief as he was able to make it through that. And that was a scary moment, and if you're not aware, the next gen does not have the ability to you know, once you get loose, you're probably wrecked. But iRacing, it is a simulation. It's a game on a computer. there is a way of saving it, and how you do that is you get on the brake, you push the throttle down, they call it 2-foot smash, and that will right the car up, and it will keep it from spinning out. So a tool that these sim racers do have that the real life guys may not. I've never seen anybody do it. Is Kenny Coppola now taking over the second position, but well executed there by Shane Parrish, making that work. As Matt Cox having some issues here. That 32 machine is falling back quickly as more and more drivers are passing him. I don't know what happened to the 32 machine, but he has dropped a ton of spots. But Kenny able to get past Jordan Schmitz, now sets his eyes on the lead. And he's running about a tenth faster than Alex Coffey. Alex, if it stays similar, even if he finished second, third in this stage, it will definitely be a win for him. Regardless, is that track position going to be really, really important for that final stage. So if he can finish up here by flipping the stage, that is a really nice strategy call and a great maneuver by him. I think Kenny is going to get around it with those fresh tires, but you know, I still think he settles either in second, maybe at worst third. So really impressed by that decision. That's a great strategy call. You know, somebody we haven't talked about tonight, we're going to check in on, is Tim Wortman Jr. in that 83, looking to try to break the winless streak. And ooh, Chris Spear gets hard into the wall. But Tim Wortman trying to end that winless streak here tonight. 83 races, I believe, is what he said. This is the last time he's won here in the Moonshiners Racing League. So I know he would love to get that done tonight. But he is in 19th position. He had dropped spots since the drop of the green flag. But what we know about Tim is he is very, very good at saving his stuff. He's definitely a passive driver, takes it easy, and tries to get you on the back end. So I think we'll see Tim Wortman work his way towards the front for this final stage. But currently in 19th, battling with Brandon Fetterplace in that 34 machine. Try to get a run on him off the corner, and not quite. Oh, he's going to look down to the inside. We'll see. Oh, he's going to take the dive down in 3 and 4, and looks like the 34 is going to give him that spot up. So Wortman out up to 18th. Expect to see him as we get through the rest of this race. And I'm getting reports from chat that Paul Gallimore actually started in the wrong gear on that restart. So it looks like he said he accidentally started in second. So it looks like they are doing first gear starts. So risky. I like it. Kenny Coppola got to the back bumper of Alex Coffey, and I think, like I said, we expect this. But if Alex can continue to put these lap times down, he's really fast. He's faster than the only people that are faster than him is Kenny Coppola and Kyle Holden, who are on fresher tires, and everybody else he is covering here in the top 5. So right now, Kenny Coppola, though, all over the back bumper, and he is going to put a lot of pressure on him. I don't think Alex is going to move over. He wants to win the stage, but I think those new tires are going to be really difficult to hold on to. We'll see. We'll see what Kenny can do and what Alex can do to try to block him. Going to get up to the outside. Not much that Alex can do about that. That is just fresh tires. We'll see as he gets going to get. Look how tight it gets. Off of turn 4. They almost make a little bit of contact. But I love that. Man, I love that move. Just drive up to the guy's right rear quarter panel. Get that spotter call. He has to give you the room then. And we've seen the outside be pretty strong. And you see he's about half a car length through the middle of the corner. Those fresh tires going to give him that little bit of extra that he needs. Alex Coffey going to try to fight back, but it is no use. Kenny Coppola going to take over the lead here on lap 72 with just 18 laps to go in this stage. And he is going to continue that trend of stage win at Dover. Kyle Holden is keeping them honest. We'll see if he's got enough time to get around Alex Coffey, put those fresh tires to use, and maybe battle for a stage win here. Would love to see it. Well, as I always appreciate everybody that shows their cam, so we try to get them on the broadcast as much as possible. Because if I don't show them on the broadcast, they'll stop doing it. So we don't always get to show everybody, well, I'm trying. Let's see. Let's refresh the page real quick. Johnny Shea not showing up for some reason. We'll get that right here in just a second. Well, I don't know. I can't. Johnny Shea not showing up on the actual list. He is here, but I can't find him. I can't show him on the broadcast. So sorry, Johnny. I don't know what's going on with that. Able to show just about everybody else, just not Johnny. So I don't know what's going on with this, but anyway, he is running back in 26th position. He has made up 2 or 3 spots, but look at this gaggle of cars that's all around him. Boy, this is a mess back here. Guys moving all over the place. See the movement of the cars as they're going through the corners. And he's in 32. Matt Cox, yeah, we're going to talk to him under the stage break to see what happened to him, because he was doing really well in that first stage, and something happened and he fell back through the field. So I don't know if he made contact with the wall or made contact with another driver. He's doing that right now as he gets to the back bumper of the 10 of Warren Young, as it looks like Ryan Huff gets a little bit loose as he's working under Chris Spears, and here's Aaron Matthews kind of getting stuck between them. The 19 of Nicholas Atwood was pushing the 32 down the straightaway. I don't think you can do that. Who is that up there? That's the lap car of, I believe, Nigel Christensen. Yeah, it is. And he is 2 laps down in 36, so he's just getting up out of the way. Definitely appreciate that. Kyle Holden has made his way around Alex Coffey for 2nd place. Now can set his sights. He got about 12 laps to get it done. He was a little bit faster that last lap, so we'll pay attention to Holden here. See if he can run down that 77 machine and make it interesting, because Kenny is, I mean, you know, when somebody fast as Kenny says, this is my favorite track, that's about the worst thing you could hear. As that is bad news for the rest of the field, and Kenny Coppola sets the fastest time on the track out front. So Kenny going to start to pull away ever so slightly unless Kyle Holden can figure out something here. They can make up a little bit of time. We talked about Paul Gallimore on that restart. He is one of those drivers who flipped the stage, and it's working out. He's falling back, and I tell you, there's nothing worse for a racer to feel kind of helpless. Everybody's driving by you. You know, the tire differential is showing its ugly head as we're, 33 laps into this stint. He's got about 12 lap older tires, and he's starting to feel it at the moment. And there's really nothing he can do. He just has to maintain, keep as much speed as possible, and try not to, make any contact, and try to net positions. And currently, I mean, he's up 15 spots from where he started as he gets to the back bumper of Chris Davis there. As Tim Wortman going to look to go around him on the outside. Wortman continues to move forward here up to the 14th position, but Gallimore started in 29th, so if he can get to the stage break here, he will have netted half the field. So last week's winner, Paul Gallimore, making some smart moves. I like the driver IQ that's in this series. That's one thing that I've noticed very quickly, is how smart these drivers are. They make really good decisions. Martinsville, Richmond are anomalies most of the time, but they still all make really smart, high IQ decisions on track, pit strategy. Shows here in these races. Man, we're watching this battle right in front. Jeffrey Taylor, Blaine Wilson side by side, making a little bit of contact as Blaine really leaning on that right side, and that puts a lot of pressure on that guy on the inside to make sure that he gives plenty of room. And when you have to exit Dover a little bit lower, that's incredibly difficult to do. And Jeffrey Taylor with a really nice drive through 1 and 2, actually cleared him, but did not take the exit. We'll see if he does it here. He does right here. That's smart. Go ahead and take that position, slide up in front of Blaine Wilson, and move Jeffrey Taylor back up into the 6th position. With just a few laps to go in this stage, Kenny Coppola out front. Kyle Holden last lap did make up about 2/10 on him. We'll see as they cross the line if anything changes. We continue to watch these battles. Sean Rogers, a fill-in driver with 54, Randy Mullins. Randy going to get really out of shape and have to fall back. Sean Rogers filling in for Shane Davis this week. Really cool part of the league, the ability to have folks fill in for you. I would imagine that means that whatever points they earn, you earn if you're able to have to miss a race. Some folks do drop weeks. Others don't do anything at all. You either show up or you don't get points if you don't. You don't get points if you don't show up, but having somebody fill in for you, keep the fields full. I think that's the idea behind that. We want really big fields, and they had 38 drivers show up this week, and that's a testament to that. So I like that rule. These guys are battling. This is for the 8th, 9th, and 10th positions. All right. Final lap of the stage. Kenny Coppola still has a 9/10 of a second lead. He's dealing with some lap traffic. Caution has not come out yet, so as they cross the line from 45, the caution came out, and we'll see. Looks like the end of 90 here, and Kenny Coppola will take over that stage win, I believe, unless I blanked on the stage again. There it is. So they went a little bit longer. I don't. I think they're. I mean, obviously they're manually throwing that, but there you go. Kenny Coppola is going to be stage 1 and stage 2 winner. That's a lot of points. Kyle Holden comes away with the 2nd place finish. Alex Coffey in 3rd. Brandon Bikey 4th. Jordan Schmeets in that 5th position. Alex Coffey and George Schmeets able to hold on to top 5s. They were flipping the stage. Really smart. I like those calls. That was really cool. So Kenny Coppola with stage number 2. We're going to take a short break. We'll come back. We'll talk to somebody, and we'll see what they got going on. We'll be right back. All right, pit stop's underway here on the end of stage number 2. And I do need to correct myself. I was told that they do not get the points for a driver filling in, but it does help towards team points. And like I said, keeps the fields full. So there you go. Kenny Coppola going to drive through all the drivers and get out of pit road first. So nice little battle between Kyle Holden and Alex Coffey. And it looks like Holden able to get that position. Now, Dean Motley does stay out on track, but he is definitely going to come down pit road. Does not want to stay out that long. Lap down cars come down pit road, so they will make their stops. well, trying to find somebody that I don't normally talk to. I said I was going to talk to Matt Cox, but I've talked to him quite a few times, so I don't want to overuse somebody, but I do want to know what happened to him. So I'm gonna disagree with my own self, and I want to pull him up in here and talk to him real quick. Matt, this Eddie in the booth got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Matt, you're sitting here in 16th. You did inherit the points lead this week, but we saw you fall through the field there on that stage. What happened to you?
You guys didn't see it? You got to go back and take a look. It's pretty fun. I just decided to drift through 1 and 2 on the top side. I'm lucky I didn't hit the wall.
Oh, wow. Yeah, well, we definitely missed it. I mean, there's 38 cars. If I had 38 cameras, we'd catch it all. But, I mean, great recovery. You're sitting in 15th now for this final stage. That 32 looks fast. What do you need to do to get up to the front?
Just not get caught up in anybody else's stuff, I think. I think if we just pace ourselves, got a good long-run car. I don't know. We'll see. I just not getting in a wreck and not overdrive the tires.
Okay. Well, there you have it. That's what we wanted to know. Matt Cox is going to be restarting in the 15th position. Good luck, Matt.
Yep, thank you.
As I'm still learning, I have a slight panic attack every time I put somebody into a certain chat. Hopefully I get them in the right one. They might be talking to their enemies. I don't know. Kenny Coppola, Kyle Holden going to be your front row for this restart as we get ready for the final stage. All that we've done, we're going to do it over again. So Kenny Coppola has 105 laps at least to get that win that he wanted last season. We'll see if he can get it done. Here we go. Great start for Kenny, of course, as the battle for second was on for just a moment there as we see Alex Coffey get back around Jeffrey Taylor. Now here comes Kyle Holden trying to look down to the inside of, he's going to make a late rate. Oh my goodness. A last second lunge, and I think Brandon Bike was a little surprised by that. Maybe he was going to try the little bit of crossover, and when he did, Alex Coffey able to get up in there and take that spot away from him. So Alex Coffey back into position that he was in at the first part of the race before he had that 90-degree half spin that was pretty incredible that he was able to hang on to it. And now he's back up into the third position. But Kenny out to a 1 second lead, and he is really putting the lap times down at the moment. Really haven't seen much fall off from this 77 machine too, so he's got a great piece under him here tonight. Now Jordan Schmeets goes to the inside of Brandon Bikey, who is starting to fade here on this restart. And, you know, I don't know if it's him fading or just taking care of his stuff, considering that it might be a long run. And he actually blinks out there for just a second. But look at this battle back here right behind him. That's Shane Parrish, Joey Burchett. Somebody said I said it right. I don't know which one they're talking about because I said Burchett. But either way, I mean, it's a great battle going on back here. It's 5 or 6 cars that are all over each other. And that 14 is ahead of Blaine Wilson and Sean Rogers. And Blaine on the outside trying to make it work. See Joey just drive around Brandon. And honestly, at this moment, I am very convinced that Brandon is just saving here in that one machine. I've seen him be able to lay down some extremely fast lap times, currently running 3/10 off the pace at least. So he definitely knows that right front is in danger here if we get a long green flag run. So while it looks like he is fading very fast, I think that's a little misleading, because he is definitely trying to save that right front for later down in these long runs. We haven't had a 70 lap run just yet, so if it goes green all the way, these cars are going to be really handling pretty badly. So I think he knows exactly what he's doing. Now it's Coffee been able to take over that second spot, so he currently runs about 2.2 seconds back from Kenny Coppola. Kyle Holden about half a second back from him. And try to hunt down that 77 machine if you can. Here comes Blaine Wilson down to the inside of Shane Parrish in that number 14 machine. Everybody attempting to get that track position if they can. See Matt Cox there in that 32 machine right behind Sean Rogers, trying to get inside the top 10. He restarted in 15th, already made up 4 spots, looking to continue that trend up through the pack. Work up to the outside here of Sean Rogers. Look at that run. He gets off the corner. And you can see he was not going to make the corner, but he wanted that spotter call. So he drives really hard in the middle of the corner, makes the spotter for the 79 call outside. And when he does, that means the 79 has to respect it. And when he does that, then he lifts as he's on the outside, because he wasn't going to make the exit of the corner. And look at that, 2 spots masterfully done by Matt Cox, as he's able to get by them with relatively ease. Use that run that he got off the previous corner and was able to get down to the inside of the 14. So real tight battle from 6th on back to about 12th position, which is just a testament to Brandon Bikey sort of just taking it easy. And you see he's kind of backing everybody up into each other, and it's by design. So he is just running a pace that he is comfortable with, very similar to the way they ran at Bristol in real life, where they were just trying to find a pace. Let me hit that pace over and over again so I can save my tires. And so that's kind of what's going on here, is he is like, hey, look, if you want to go around me, by all means, go ahead. I'm going to run exactly the way I want to. And right now he's 6.5 seconds off the lead. So go ahead and write it down. If you got your pen and paper down, I want you to write down Brandon Bikey, lap 112. He is 6.6 seconds off of the lead. And we'll see as we get later in this run if he's able to make that up at the end of it. Blaine Wilson. I tell you what, Matt Cox got a fast hot rod. He's going to get to the outside of Jeffrey Taylor. And able to get it done. So Matt Cox is on the move at the moment. He said he was hoping for those long runs, so he is he's getting it right now as we're 20 laps into this little run. And if we go green, I mean, this is going to be an interesting final stage. If we go green, we'll need 1 stop for fuel. Tires will be an interesting part of this, because if you run too hard, Kenny was already talking about his right front really struggling, and that was after about 45 laps. So if you can imagine double it, you know, if you're not careful, you'll push it a little bit too hard, and man, you'll end up blowing that right front. That is possible here on iRacing. You can't really have any mechanical failures, but you can definitely have it where your right front just doesn't have any more grip, and all of a sudden you won't be able to turn anymore. So it is possible to blow a right front. Well, wonderful to see any of that tonight if we go green. That'll be the big kicker if we go green to the end. Oh, it we might not. Blaine Wilson almost gets turned. Big contact in the outside wall. That's Shane Parrish and Randy Mullins. As Blaine Wilson and Shane Parrish get real close, make a little bit of contact. And we were watching, and yeah, Shane Parrish has big damage on that right front. He is falling through the field quickly. That car, he's going to have to come down pit road. It is not turning at all. You can see he's putting a lot of wheel into it. Not able to do anything. Randy Mullins in the same boat. They're trying to stay out of the way. But big damage to both these drivers as Shane Parrish still out on the track. No caution, though. We stay green. Here they both come down pit road, and honestly, that's just a case of getting real close off the corner, being on the inside. He comes up into Blaine Wilson. Blaine gets really loose and is able to save it. Just big contact after the fact. So both those drivers come down pit road, and their day's likely done. Up front, Kyle Holden was able to get back around Alex Coffey to take over that second position. So we're starting to see the tires start to make a difference here. Kyle Holden has been fast, and I think you know, it's a little bit too early to tell long run speed, but after lap 27 here on this set of tires, you're starting to see Kyle Holden cut into that gap just a little bit. So there's still a long way to go in this stage if we stay green. Well, this is a battle. Blaine Wilson starting to fall back just a little bit. This is a battle for 11th as Aaron Matthews is looking down to the inside, not quite able to make that move just yet. Right now, your leaders are in the 23.7s. Got a few drivers in the 6s still. Matt Cox, Brandon Bikey in the 23.6s, so they are maybe starting to see as Aaron Matthews gives a bump to Blaine Wilson down into the corner. We'll go on board, watch the steering wheel as Aaron Matthews will see just exactly what it looks like is the right front starts to wear a little bit. You turn the car and it just right here just does not want to turn. It looks like he's actually doing pretty good. That steering wheel not turned as much as I thought. So he's taking care of that right front. You ask, well, how do you save that right front? Well, that's exactly how you do it. Don't turn the wheel more than 45 degrees. If you have to turn it more than that, you are putting a lot of pressure on that right front. It's possible to do it. You can turn that wheel more and it will grip up, and you'll feel like, okay, I'm good. But you're just overheating that right front. And honestly, right now, Aaron Matthews looks like his inputs at least are doing exactly what you need to do to save the tire. So whatever it takes, how much slower you have to go into the corner, how long you have to wait on throttle, whatever you have to do to keep that steering wheel at 45 degrees or straighter, that's what you want to do. And Aaron Matthews is actually doing a fantastic job at it. Now I'm going to look down to the inside. We'll see what that steering wheel angle does here. He's down on the bottom. Using that throttle to turn the car, not using the steering wheel. I like that. That is a great shot at what it takes to be good at tire saving. And you can hear him having to work that throttle. He's not turning the wheel more, just using less throttle. As Blaine Wilson gets loose off the corner, that's going to open the door for Aaron Matthews. Now going to be side by side into the corner. Blaine Wilson has not cut anybody a break there on the outside, and I don't think he's going to start here with Aaron Matthews. All right, well, now we're closing in on about halfway in this run. And we'll go up here and check the battle. Not much of a battle going on, just watching Matt Cox. He's getting up to the back bumper of Joey here in that 82 machine. Getting a big run off the corner. Look at this. Look how quickly the speed gets a massive run. That's going to give him that inside track. I don't think Joey's going to be able to do much about that. Joey's going to try to follow him. He's going to get up to this right rear quarter, so Matt not able to clear him just yet. But Matt showing why he's the points leader. I mean, he is incredible drive. I would love to have gone back to see that drift that he did, and he fell all the way back to the 30s and has now worked his way back up into the top 5 with about 70 laps to go. And I told you, I said on lap 111, write it down. What is the time of Brandon Bikey to the leader? And just 20 laps later, even with all the traffic, Brandon Bikey has brought it down to 5.9 seconds. He's going to go down to the inside of Joey Burchett. And should get around him with ease. You can see Jeffrey Taylor kind of following in his tire tracks as they have saved a little bit. Now they're headed back up towards the front if possible. We'll keep an eye out on that, but I said at 111 it was 6.5. Right now it is 5.7 here on lap 133. So we'll see what that tire saving, how well it works out as we get down towards the end of the run. Go back here a little bit. Darren Mills and Chris Spear. This is a battle for the 24th position. Gets a run. Had a really good angle there, but actually had to lift off the corner, just trying not to make contact with Chris Spear. Had the right angle, just got on the throttle maybe a little bit too soon. Try to get under him here. Not quite able to do it just yet. Right now, last season's winner, Chris Spears, running back in 24th. And man, another hard contact with that outside wall. You cannot do that very much. These things are tanks, but they're not that strong. And I've seen him hit that outside wall quite a few times, and it's just a little bit tight. He talked about that car being tight. Practice on a different track temperature, just like the guys in real life. I mean, they all said on Saturday, they said, hey, these practice, oh man, as Chris Spear hits the wall again. But, you know, just like in real life, you know, Denny Hamlin said, hey, the practice that we had here on Saturday, qualifying, not going to be a hill of beans for Sunday, as the track is going to be way different. And so Chris Spear, you know, kind of alluded to that as Warren Young slow on the track here on the apron coming down pit road. So we may be looking to make his first stop. This might be a scheduled stop, as they should be able to make it to the end from here. But he is definitely pitting really early, in danger of a caution coming out for sure. All right, back up here to this 5th position as you got lap traffic, the 24 of Nick King, as they're going around him right now, and they have run up to the back bumper of Jordan Schmitz in that number 4 car. And these boys right here are coming. Jordan Schmitz be the next victim. As they go to the outside, it looks like Matt Cox is going to be able to get that position. We'll see. Schmitz is clear now, but you see the 32 is going to get a massive run off the corner and gets the run down the back straightaway, and he will take over 4th spot. If you're keeping tabs on this, we wanted to see what saving could do. How big a deal is it to save it? We talked about it. And right now, Brandon Bikey, he is 4.8 seconds behind the leader at the moment. So he is definitely, him and Matt Cox, starting to run them down pretty quickly. And Kenny Coppola has had to go up through some lap traffic for sure. So he is dealing with that lap traffic, but they are coming. So they have saved quite a bit of tire, and they're making really, really good lap times. on board Brandon Bike. He is laid back in that chair. It looks like he's about to fall out the back. Just a weird angle. Like his chin is in his chest. They're getting through traffic like a knife through butter. And see Matt Cox in the distance has taken over that third position. Here comes Alex Coffey down pit road. So the first one of your leaders coming down here with just over 50 laps to go. He is going to make his stop, try to undercut here, get that advantage, and that should draw in pretty much everybody else. I don't think we'll see too many people stay out longer. You know, we saw in the real Dover race, somebody stayed out. Corey LaJoy stayed out for the full fuel run trying to catch a caution. So I know we'll see some folks do that, but I think if you're planning on winning the race, I think you got to come on down once the leaders start to hit pit road. So Kyle Holden, another one of those drivers, is going to make his final stop, and we'll see if anybody else comes down pit road. Now, if you're Matt Cox, Brandon Bikey at the moment, I don't know if you like the idea of coming down pit road because it's working in your favor this long run. So, you know, I wonder what they'll do. You know, if they do have a long run car, if they pit now, they'll be able to take advantage of that. Now, however, if they wait too long, if they run it all the way out, they may not have the opportunity to use that long run to their advantage. So interesting call that we'll see what the decision is from these two drivers. Is, man, they have gotten it down to under 4 seconds as Brandon Bikey makes a little bit of contact with the wall, and you couldn't see it, but his tongue was out when he hit the wall. So he's hammered down at the moment. All right, more people coming down pit road. Joey Burchett coming down pit road in that HendrickCars.com number 82. Aaron Matthews down as well, Hunter Carmichael. So all those drivers making what could be their final stop if we go caution-free for the rest of the thing. How about that? Green flag pit stops here at Dover with 38 cars here in the Moonshiners Racing League, the OB Builders Cup Series, and the Ragin Cajun Bail Bonds 200. We'll just get all the sponsors in there. Here comes Blaine Wilson. He's down on pit road. Make his stop. Still waiting on your leader, Kenny Coppola, who's still out on track. As you see, looks like the 15 of Alex Coffey gets one of his 2 laps back. So Alex Coffey is still lapped down. So the caution comes out. It could be detrimental for those that are pitting early. However, if we cycle all the way around, they will definitely have a massive lead. So this is going to really turn the race on its head, and Kenny Coppola just has to be careful of, you know, to play it like he I mean, you have to make a decision. You know, Alex Coffey, those drivers have made their call. They're willing to take the risk. So what does Kenny do? I mean, he can run it all the way to the end. He knows he'll have faster tires to run down Alex Coffey if needed. But if you wait too long, you know, they can run another probably 20 laps or so. That'll only give him 30 laps to make up the difference. So I just don't know. I don't know how long you wait here. And Sean Rogers is coming down pit road, going to give up that top 5 running position to get his 4 tires and fuel. Final stop here for Sean Rogers. And here comes Kenny Coppola. Oh my goodness, he's really pushing it to get down pit road. Almost hits the barrels, but able to make it. As Matt Cox going to follow him down pit road, and that leaves Brandon Bikey out on the track. And man, my goodness, Kenny Coppola hanging it all out. Let's go back and watch that again. My goodness, we got to check that. Watch it right here. You can see he's down at the bottom, definitely committed to pitting. Watch this right here. Trying to get it woed up, and whoop! What a great job of getting that thing woed up. And they're coming out of pit road right now, and he's able to beat Matt Cox off of pit road. And Alex Coffey has been able to get around them with that undercut. So they're still a lap down, so we'll see how that works out. Now Jeffrey Taylor has come down to make his final stop of the race, and Brandon Bikey continues out on track. He is going to run long, and we'll see how long he decides to do that. Now, looks like he is coming down pit road now. A little bit ginger. Oh, somebody is up again. Who is that? Was that Nicholas Atwood? I think that was Nicholas Atwood who was stuck, did not make down pit road. Yeah, you can see it right here. Watch this. A lot of folks having trouble getting down off of on the pit road. He missed the commitment cone and hits the barrels, has to back up, and he can't go down pit road because he missed the commitment and has to get back on track. You can see Brandon Bikey there right behind him. These guys are laying it out on the line trying to make it down pit road. So Chris Davis will inherit the lead, and these guys, I would imagine, are going to run as long as they possibly can, try to catch that caution, and there's been plenty of opportunities for sure. If this thing cycles around, Kyle Holden will actually be the leader. He's got about 8/10 of a second lead over Alex Coffey as, oh my God, who was that? Somebody was boot scooting boogie and coming down pit road trying to get on. So this pit road is very difficult to get on right at the moment, especially with these tires as wore out as they are. As, man, look at Steven Gibson. Gibson may be trying to get the pit road. He can't, his car's all over him. The tire difference at the moment is just wild. See the 77 of Kenny Coppola, he is right behind him. We'll see if Steven's trying to come down pit road. I don't know if he is or not, but man, look at this. 3 wide. Woo! Boy, oh boy, Nicholas Atwood has had, looks like maybe more trouble. I'm not sure. But Chris Davis in that 29 machine is your current leader. Alex Coffey has just now unlapped himself. So if a caution comes out right now, Alex Coffey is in great shape. Along with Kyle Holden. Kyle Holden will cycle around to the leader if we get there. My goodness. We are having a lot of folks with issues. I think that's Chris Spear here. Yeah, I wonder if his tire is not down. Yeah, he's got a flat tire. Chris Spear, we talked about it, that it's possible to have a flat tire, and right now Chris Spear has one. That right front is gone. You can hear it very faintly, but you can hear it flopping around as he's trying to get down on pit road and get those tires. So I wondered if that was going to happen, and the 7 pushed it a little bit too far, and that tire has gone down. So either that or he smacked the wall enough to knock it out of whack as he's going to come down pit road now. Chris Davis still out on track, waiting for that caution, hoping to see it as just under 40 laps to go before the end of this thing. You can just see how big a difference those tires are making as there's Kenny Coppola trying to unlap himself. It's imperative if you're one of those drivers that was out front, you got to unlap yourself. You got to get back on the lap because the caution with you a lap down and not in lucky dog position will effectively end your race. So Kenny Coppola able to unlap himself. Matt Cox now trying to go to the outside of Chris Davis. And he's going to make contact with the wall. You can see how important it is for that to happen. So now 9 cars on the lead lap just waiting on Chris Davis and Tim Hortman Jr., Steven Gibson, and Brandon Fetterplace to come down pit road. Kyle Holden has caught up to the back as, oh no, here comes Brandon Fetterplace down pit road now in that 34 machine. So by my calculations, about 5 to 6 more laps here for Chris Davis. You know, I would be less worried about fuel and a little bit more worried about that right front after seeing Chris Spears have his issue. You can see just how little he's able to get on the throttle. I mean, you can't get on the throttle fully until he gets on the straightaway. Look how long he has to roll. He's not shifting down to 4th, running in 5th. Right now, Chris Davis running 24 4s, Kyle Holden 23 2s. So 1.2 seconds faster per lap is Kyle Holden. And Davis just praying for a caution, saying, guys, Come on. Where's one of these Martinsville and Richmond cautions? I need one. I got the lead. I'd love to come down, get 4 tires, and retain the lead as everybody would come back down pit road. But Davis trying to hold out as long as he can, along with Tim Wortman and Steven Gibson. Will we get that caution? Or will we cycle around the lead to Kyle Holden, who has been hanging around in the top 5, as Tim Wortman Jr. now going to come down pit road and get his final set of tires, most likely. It'll definitely be his final green flag pit stop, that's for sure. So still waiting, but Kyle Holden has gotten up to the back bumper of second place. Steven Gibson all over the back bumper. He's going to make a little bit of contact. I don't know if he knows how many laps. Steven Gibson's got 76 laps on those tires. You can see just how quickly that happens. So Kyle Holden, he does not have time to waste. He has got a 2-second lead over Alex Coffey. About a 2.5-second lead. So Kyle Holden getting on and off pit road was one of the best. And he pitted he short pitted him and Alex Coffey. So he pitted about, it looks to be maybe 9 laps, 8-9 laps sooner than Kenny Coppola. So will Coppola have enough time to run him down? Either one of these guys. He's got 30 laps to do it. Right now, Kyle Holden is about 6.5 seconds back from Chris Davis, the leader. He is continuing about a second a lap, even after 26-lap-old tires, to cut into that lead. So in a few laps, less than 4 laps, he will be your leader. But still waiting on Chris Davis to come down pit road, and I'm telling you right now, he is struggling. Oh, somebody on the track. Who is that? Jamison middle miss. Completely missing his front bumper, and he's trying to get down, but he can't. They're going to have to throw a caution at some point. He's going to try to sneak down here. Oh, my goodness, right in front of somebody. Who was that? That was Matt Cox. Matt Cox makes contact as Jamison Middlemiss was trying to get down. His car would not turn. He had major damage. And Matt Cox, who was in position to win this race, your points leader. Watch here as Middlemiss is going to try to get through this gap right here. It just didn't know, and man, massive hit. And the 16 goes around, but no caution comes out. I feel for both those drivers. Matt Cox did not know he was going to try to come down there, and Jamison was doing the best he can. He needed a caution. In real life, they would have thrown that caution flag. But I don't know. I don't think there's any live race control. I think any race control would be in the race. As here we go, Chris Davis now coming down pit road, going to give up the lead. He ran 82 laps there, and says it's time. Going to come down and get 4 tires. Field is going to have just 25 laps to do anything with it, but that was his whole strategy call. And now Kyle Holden has taken over the lead. But yeah, that was just I don't blame James Middlemiss at all because no caution came out. His car was stuck. He was sitting there on the track trying to roll slowly, and everybody is so spread out. He's got to get off the track at some point. And just tried to get down. Maybe could have communicated a little bit better with Matt Cox or hey, I'm coming down the track, go high. But I don't blame him at all. He was just trying to get out of the way. That car was just tore up so bad he wasn't able to make any quick movement. So frustrating, I'm sure, for Matt Cox. But without a caution, I'm not really sure what Middlemiss was supposed to do other than just stop on the track in the outer groove and just wait for that caution. So tough deal there, my goodness. But Kyle Holden currently with the lead, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be close. He's gonna have to hustle. You can see that red car back there. That's Kenny Coppola. He is about 2/10 faster than Kyle Holden. here. Now, Holden has 7-lap older tires, and it's going to be tough. So Kyle's really got to get through this lap traffic. We look out the front of Holden. You can see a couple cars out in front of him. He's got to get around those guys really quickly, not waste any time. He does not have any time to waste. And 0.4 of a second faster Kenny Coppola was. That is fast enough to catch him in just a few laps. So Kyle Holden's going to have to, he's going to have to really lay down some laps here, as Kenny is definitely eating into that lead. "19 laps to go. Kyle Holden with your lead. We had a green flag, full green flag cycle, not without a lot of heartbreak, but it's really awesome to see that. I love to see green flag pit stops here on iRacing, and we saw a lot of folks hit the, this, I think it was a 16 of Jameson Middleman. No, it was Nicholas Atwood in the 19. Tried to get on pit road and missed it. Hit the barrels, had missed the commitment cone, had to go all the way back around. Just tough. A lot of folks struggling to get on pit road. Kenny Coppola locked him up, slid the rear tires, trying to get down on pit road. So he was definitely lighting them on fire. But right now he's doing exactly that. Running here in second. Alex Coffey has already lost that position and is falling back about 4.3 seconds to Kenny here. And redemption is the story for Kenny Coppola at the moment. Last season, we already talked about it. He led a majority of the race, I think 183 laps, 168 laps actually. Set the fastest lap. One stage one, one stage two. He did everything but win the pole, win the race. And tonight, looking to avenge that race from last season in 15 laps. He's got a second to make up over Kyle Holden. You can see there's Kyle Holden right in front of him. So he makes a little contact with the wall, so you know he's hunting. He's putting that gas down. He's pushing that car as hard as he can. He knows that he's got the tire advantage, but that doesn't always guarantee that when you catch a guy, you're going to be able to pass him quickly. So, yeah, he could take it easy and just say, I've got better tires, but these laps are clicking off pretty quickly, and he's got to get there, and then he's got to make the pass. Kyle is very skilled, very talented. 7 laps is, a big enough gap that Kenny's able to make up some time, but I don't think it's enough that he's going to drive right around him. I don't believe. So Kenny has got to get up there quickly, and he's got to give himself enough time to make the pass. It may take 7-8 laps to make the pass for the lead. So right now, if you're Kyle Holden, you're just thinking about it. Man, look at Kenny knocking down the wall. He's done that multiple times. But if you're Kyle Holden, you're just thinking about how you're going to defend. Don't want to let him get out to the outside. We've already seen that be a problem. If you let the guy get out to the outside, that's pretty much a death sentence. You're not going to be able to hold him off. That inside just too difficult. So you want to try to bait him down to the inside if he's going to make a move. You don't want to lift. You don't want to blow your exit, as that's an easy way to make that pass. So coming down to the end of this thing, we're under half a second. Battle for the lead. Kyle Holden on older tires. Can he hold him off? Got some lap traffic out in front of him. The lead stabilizes. Kenny Coppola, Kyle Holden runs the exact same lap time that time by. Has Kyle Holden been holding out? Holding on that a little bit extra. Can he hold him off? This is going to be a drive of the century if Kyle Holden can hold off Kenny Coppola. Coppola is really hungry. We've seen him knock down the wall a couple of times. So has he gotten any damage to that 77? What's going to happen? I can't wait to find out. This is going to be exciting. Here we go, down to 2/10. Kenny Coppola again in the wall. Makes contact again. He is trying to extend that turn 4 wall so that last lap he can make that pass. I think that's what he's trying to do. On board Kenny here. Watches and tries to reel him in. He's got him. He's in that dirty air. The I mean, if this was real life, Kyle would win the race because he wouldn't be able to get any closer. 7-lap fresher tires. What can Kyle Holden do? They're coming up on a lap car. That's going to be really important that Kyle deals with his lap car correctly. If he makes the wrong move, Kenny may have an opportunity to get inside or on the outside, one of the two. So he's going to have to make a right call. Kenny needs to be thinking about how to use it to his advantage. It's getting down to the end, and they're both pushing it. Look how close they were to the wall off the corner. Kyle driving in on the bottom, pushing up on exit. Kenny actually driving in a little bit higher, getting a better run off the corner, but Kyle's still doing a great job. I mean, this is really impressive stuff out of the 59 with these older tires. You hear Kenny not able to get the gas down as much, and actually Kyle pushes off the corner, almost makes contact, have to give a little bit too much wheel and actually scrub some speed off. But the lead holds at 0.2 of a second at the moment. I said on the broadcast earlier in the race, the dirty air is not as pronounced as it is in real life. Kenny looking down to the inside, though. Here comes that lap car. Is it going to be a factor? Down to the inside. Kyle Holden making sure he can't jump up to the outside. Kenny, though, down. Not able to hold on to it. The run off the top side. Dirty air, not that big of a factor as it is in real life, so Kenny definitely has a chance, but he is all over the back bumper now, and Kyle Holden knows exactly what to do. Do not give him the outside, and he is doing exactly that. They're telling this guy out front, saying, move out of the damn way. Who is that? I'm just kidding. I think that's the 82. And lap cars have all the... Oh, he's going to go high. That's going to make him 3 wide. The 82. Hey, if you heard me, I was just kidding. But he does the right thing and moves out of the way. They make a little bit of contact. Down the straightaway, Kenny is there. Tries to work a little side draft. Kyle going to work that outside. That's the only shot he has. Kenny, though, gets a great run through the middle and exit. Has a nose going into 3 and 4. Kyle would love to be able to use that bottom line on entry. Not able to do it. He's got to get that momentum up. They're going to make doors off the corner. 3 laps to go. Kyle in the wall. Kenny has got the nose out front now. Can Kyle make anything happen? Kenny almost clear, and he has to lift. Kyle Holden has to lift, and Kenny Coppola will take the lead with 3 laps to go. Kyle not finished just yet. We'll see if he can come back and do anything with him. There's still traffic up ahead. It is not over. Kyle was really struggling on those old tires when he was side by side, but can he do anything? Will he use the bumper? What's going to happen here? You can hear the shift down to 3rd. Trying to get the run. Oh, and he had a great run there, but just the car got a little bit tight. You got lap cars side by side right in front of the leader. White flag is out, though, for Kenny Coppola. One more lap. He's going to get held up by the lap car. Here comes Kyle Holden with a big run. Kyle going to go to the outside. The 24, Nick King. Going to play the pit coming off the corner. And Kenny Coppola is going to hang on to it, and he's going to get the dub here at Dover. And I can't tell if there's excitement there on that camera here for Kenny Coppola, or it's relief. I don't know. I think it's more relief that he's able to get that done, and he is going to be able to celebrate. He's wiping that sweat off his face. Had to put in a lot of work to get that checkered flag, and he definitely did it. So there you have it, your winner, Kenny Coppola. What a race, y'all. That was a blast. Dover always brings it, and tonight is no different. We'll see a little burnout here. He's going to burn it down, celebrate that win here on the front straightaway. He's the winner of the Ragin' Cajun Bail Bonds 200 here at Dover Motor Speedway. There it is. There's that smile as he finally able to let himself enjoy it for a second And I can't wait to talk to him, as, man, what a great drive he had there at the end. Let's take a look at your results, and we'll see where everybody finished here in this one. Kenny Coppola, Kyle Holden, Alex Coffey going to be your top three. What a race by those two up front. Brandon Bikey, there on that pit cycle, just stayed out too long, I think. He had the pressure tires. He was on the back bumper of Alex Coffey, just maybe stayed out a little bit too long, and he comes home in fourth. Jeffrey Taylor, another top five for him. Jordan Schmeeks there in sixth. Sean Rogers in seventh. Aaron Matthews in eighth. Lane Wilson in the ninth position. Joey Burchett in 10th. Well, 84 races for Tim Wartman Jr. He is not going to be able to get the win here tonight. Comes away with the 11th finish, though. 11th place finish, excuse me. And a pretty good run there for that 83 machine. Paul Gallimore in 12th spot. Chris Davis there in 13th. Brandon Fetterplace in 14th. Caden Norfree in 15th. Ryan Huff in 16th. John Bender in 17th. Nicholas Atwood 18th. Hunter Carmichael in 19th. And 20th is Dean Motley. 21st, Chris Spear, Nick King in 22nd. Johnny Shea, that's a Mortal Kombat character, for sure, in 23rd. Garrett Crawford, 24th. Jared Clark, Darren Mills, Barry Sanders, Nigel Christensen, Steven Gibson, Matt Cox rounds out the top 30. 31st is Jamison Middlemiss, Ed Bowles Jr., Warren Young, and all these drivers, multiple laps down with damage. They were out of this race. Shane Parrish, Randy Mullins, Paul Whitley, Justin Belmont, Darren Mullins, Matt Edler. Round out your field. 5 cautions, really 3. Take out the stage caution. 3 cautions, 200 laps, 9 lead changes, a green flag cycle here at the end. Yeah, pretty amazing. So that was a lot of fun. Great job on the field. Really put a show on here tonight. Well, we're going to go to a short commercial break. We'll come back and we'll talk to your winner and your top 3. See what they thought about the race. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. Well, let's talk to some drivers. Let's see what they thought about this race. And, of course, we got to start with the winner. The winner here tonight is Kenny Coppola. Kenny, we talked to you after that stage 1 win. You felt like you had a pretty good piece, but, boy, did you have to work for it here tonight.
Man, I tried to free the car up all night long, and it just kept getting tighter and tighter and tighter. I was tighten 1 and 2 loose off of 4 the whole race. I couldn't figure out what the car needed. Everything I threw at it made it worse. But I knew I had to try to run longer than the guys catching up to me. Seemed like they had a little bit better long run car than I had. I would just get too tight, wouldn't rotate. And I got Kyle. That was some of the best racing I've ever had in iRace, and so I appreciate Kyle for running me clean. He's one of my team drivers, so hats off to him. I stole one back from him.
Well, you got that revenge from last season. You led so many laps, didn't get the win, but tonight you're able to get it done. Won both stages and the race win. That's got to feel good. Now, when you cross the line, we were watching your camera, and you didn't really celebrate too quickly. It seemed like it was more relief than celebration. What was your feelings as you crossed the line?
It was a relief, man. My adrenaline was pumping. I mean, I think I held my breath for the last 10 laps of the race. So me and Kyle were both tight and driving the heck out of these things. It was a blast.
Yeah, I mean, you knew you were going to catch him. You knew you had the tires. You knew you had the speed. So that advantage it gives you some confidence to make the right moves. But you knew that when you got there, the ability to pass was, it's not going to be easy, even with 7-lap fresher tires. So as you were catching him, you getting closer, you had to give yourself enough time to make the pass, and lap traffic was sort of coming into play too. When you got up to him, kind of what was your thoughts? How were you planning on making that move? You knew he was going to block off the outside. He wasn't going to give that to you. That's a quick way to lose the lead. So you knew you were going to have to make it work on the inside. I mean, what was your strategy? How did you have it planned out, and did it work like you thought?
Yeah, I really enjoy this racetrack. And 2 years ago, Winter Series, I found something chasing NASCAR driver Brennan Poole, who ran with us. And I figured out if I can back the entry to 1 or 3 way up, I can get up by the wall and get the car pretty straight and really hammer throttle down and try to get underneath them. So I knew once I got to him, it was just a matter of finding the right time to back the corner up enough to lose that entry speed, but have enough momentum down the backstretch to dive it in there and finish the pass off.
Well, once you did get down to the inside, you're able to complete the pass pretty quickly with those fresher tires. So that strategy of staying out just a little bit longer definitely paid off. So I mean, man, that 77 car was really, really fast tonight, and I got to say, congratulations on the win. Now let's talk a little bit about that pit entry. Coming down the pit road to make that final green flag stop. You were cooking them coming down pit road. Were you nervous, or was that just part of the plan?
No, that was the first time I entered pit road under green, so I had no idea where I needed to slow down or stop. So I pushed it as deep as I thought I could. I think I actually probably made up time on some of the other guys for that crazy entry, but it was one of those you just get lucky.
Well, it was a good entry, and it definitely paid off for you. Well, Kenny, congratulations. That was a dang fine performance and a great race all around. So, I'm a little jealous. I'd love to have been in this race. It looked like it was so much fun. So, congratulations on that win. And as always, man, who you got to thank? Any sponsor shout outs?
Yeah, just want to thank Boomer Button Boxes bringing me aboard this year. Sent me a button box I use. If you haven't checked them out, they make custom button boxes, anything you want, pretty much. Martin Sports, I use Martin Sports gloves, and then Team Watson Racing. The guys at Beast Mode Performance, Brandon, Chris, Shane, Paul, Jeff, all those guys. And then want to just thank my wife. I put her lucky socks on. She bought me some racing socks. Second time I worn them, second win of the season. I won them or wore them at Phoenix too. So just gotta thank them, and then Barry and all these guys. Heck of a race tonight, fellas. That's what this league is about. Coming out here, having fun, turning some green flag laps, and racing hard.
Well, what do you say about a full 32 race schedule of just Dover? What do you say, Kenny?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on the win. Just a great performance, and man, go celebrate.
Eddie, we appreciate you coming on board, man.
Well, we definitely think that, but we got some more drivers to talk to. Let's talk to them. I want to hear from all of them. We got to talk to Kyle Holden, your second place finisher. Kyle, this is Eddie in the booth. Got a copy?
Hey, what's going on, Eddie?
I'm going to turn you up just a little bit. If you got a mic volume or something like that, I've got you turned just about all the way up. Kyle, man, I mean, incredible drive, dude. I mean, you started in the 7th position, worked your way. You were up front majority of the race, and I thought in my mind, I thought you made the right call on when to pit there at the end. 55 laps was as long as about as anybody was going to run up front, and you come down pit road and you come out with what will eventually be the lead. I mean, just talk a little bit about your race before we get down to the very end. Talk me through the first couple stages. How was that car driving, and what was your strategy about how to attack, save, all that type of stuff?
Yeah, we just wanted to kind of save for the first 10, 15 laps and then kind of boogie on from there. But got a couple cautions in between some of the first 2 stages, so got a little bit of a break there to kind of save our tires and on a couple laps, and then we kind of just decided, well, there's only about 20 some odd laps left, so we ended up pushing as hard as we could to get some good stage points there. Ended up coming, I think, around third or fourth the first stage, and then I think third or second stage. So did pretty good, saving our job of our tires. The car was feeling great, and we knew that we had a little bit of long run speed on Kenny. Unfortunately, he's just a short run demon, so we pitted early to try and get an advantage to that, and then saw that Kenny pitted a little bit later, but I saw he was coming. I knew that he was going to have a pretty fast lap times there. It was going to be a challenge to keep him behind me. I ended up just getting way too tight out of two when I was trying to battle him there on the outside. I was going to try to hopefully just keep him there to my inside for the next 8 laps or so, but got a little too tight. Had to let him by a little bit so I didn't get into the wall. Looks like it because he had to push so hard that he just our tires kind of met in the middle there at the end, so we were pretty even there to have kind of a battle, and then that a lap car kind of got in the way of that a little bit, but nothing you could really do there. But good race by everyone.
Yeah, I mean, you had control of the race there at the end. Thinking back on that battle, and of course you'll go over it 100 times in your head. Is there anything you think you could have done any differently? I mean, you're already at a tough disadvantage, but you're able to hold off for pretty long time, and it gave him just a few laps to make the pass. You didn't give him the outside, which was really smart. You made him go around on the inside. But is there anything maybe you would have done differently? Do you wish you would have done differently at this point?
Maybe just save a little bit more, but then he would have been here a little bit quicker. So I don't really know. Maybe just not get tight in two. Use a little bit more brake there to not get tight and not make that mistake. That's really all I can think of.
Well, hey, second place finish is nothing to sneeze at. Everybody wants to win, but sometimes you take those second place finishes as they're hard to come by as well. So I know Simrat Market, Cameron over there at Simrat Market will be happy to see that 59 Simrat Market machine out up at the front battling for a win with just a couple laps to go. So, man, congratulations on a fantastic race. Second place, as always, man. Who you got to thank? Any sponsor shout-outs?
Just got to thank Barry putting on the league. He does a great job doing it. Us admins for doing all the administration work there to get all the penalties out and stuff. And then huge thanks to Kenny at Team Watson Racing. He always puts these great setups out. And as you can see, we battle there all the week, every week. So always go get a setup from him. And then huge thanks to Martin Sports, Straight Arrow, Mane and Tail, all the sponsors of TWR. And huge thanks to you for putting this on for us.
All right. Well, there you have it. Second place finisher, Kyle Holden. Definitely would have loved to have gotten that win, but hey, second place, nothing too shabby. Now, another driver that has had an up and down race, a wild race, Alex Coffey. Alex, man, you started up front, and then you had that crazy Jimmy Johnson save where you were 90 degrees the wrong way and got her straightened back out, but you fell all the way back to the end of the field and had to flip the stage. Talk a little bit about that. What exactly happened there, and how the hell were you able to save that thing?
I don't know. I think it was just kind of hard racing between me and Bikey there. He pinched me down a little more than he had been the laps prior, so we just made a little contact. I got sent around, but I don't think it was anything malicious or anything like that. We had a good battle at the end too and kept it clean. So
yeah, but how did you save it? That's what I really want to know. How you were 90 degrees to the left, brother, or to the right? How the hell did you save it?
Well, I can't give out all the secrets, Eddie. Then we'll have way less DNF.
You gotta say it was all skill and talent. That's how you were able to save it. Well, then you're able to flip that stage, which I think was a really smart move to get that track position back and able to maintain. How difficult was it to maintain when you flipped that stage? You had 11 lap older tires, but you probably saved a good amount. I mean, that second stage, how tough was it knowing that you had to just make it to that end of that stage, and then you'd be back on equal footing?
Yeah, I had about, I think, 7 or 8 laps older tires, but I knew it was so hard to pass and so grouped up that it's hard to pass a pack way more than one car. So I knew I'd have a few takers behind me that would try to flip the stage too, and maybe give me a cushion. So on that last part of the stage, after I got new tires, the first stage, I just tried to be the leader of that cycle of people that flipped the stage, so I could just get a good restart and try to give myself a little cushion to stay out there. But it seemed to hold on pretty good after everything balanced out late in the run.
Yeah, and then after that pit cycle, I mean, how cool is that on the final stage to have a green run to the end and have a green flag cycle there? Really awesome, and it's a testament to the drivers here. 38 drivers on track, and you're 6 points, about almost 7 seconds off of the lead there at the end. You pitted about the same time Kyle Holden did. Where do you think? Where do you think you kind of lost a little bit of time there to him and Kenny?
Yeah, it's always fun to go green for these third stages at least. Those are the type of races that are most fun. But I don't know. There was a little contact between me and a car that was on the lead lap, but a whole cycle older tires. They kind of went in high. I think it was 30 to go or something around there. They went into turn one high, and I committed low with a lot more speed. Um, and then we kind of ended up getting together. I think I had a little right front damage from that. So I don't know that I would have caught Kyle. Kenny was fast too. I would have been a little closer, but I don't know that I had anything for him unless I could have got out of pit road in front of Kyle and used the air to my advantage.
Well, I mean, it's good to have just a clean finish. You had the issue early in the race, able to battle back and come back and finish third. You've had a couple races where things haven't gone your way. So, I mean, third place finish is a fantastic way of moving, kind of getting things back on the right track. But, man, when we're going to see a win from Alex Coffey? I've been waiting on it here. We going to get a dub from you anytime soon?
Man, I hope. I think it's the first time I've talked to a broadcaster after a race. I usually do all right in the stages and have some bad luck in the third stage, but I'm getting better every week of making adjustments and knowing what to do with track temps and all that on pit stops. So hopefully we can keep learning this open setup stuff and get, I ain't gonna say get lucky, but be in the right spot at some point.
Yeah, for sure. Well, man, congratulations on a great finish. And as always, man, who you got to thank? Any sponsor shout outs?
Oh yeah, shout out to Carpy's Print Company. They're my main sponsor. You can use code COFFEE15 at their website to get embroidered hats if anybody would like those. Shout out to my teammates, Nigel Christensen, Blaine Wilson, and Johnny Shade. And shout out to you for broadcasting and the admin team for putting this on every week.
All righty. Well, there you have it. Alex Coffey, your third place finisher. And boy, oh boy, that is going to do it for us here tonight. And whew, what a great race, man. Golly, I couldn't have asked for a better Dover race. And boy, just super happy to be a part of it. And I want to thank y'all again for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope, hope we put on a good show for you here on V-Speed. If you are new to V-Speed, if you're on VSRN last week and you're joining in to watch, and you hadn't subscribed to V-Speed, please hit that subscribe button. It doesn't make us any money. That's just a way, like I said earlier in the broadcast, that we can all work together. The more exposure V-Speed gets, the more exposure your league gets. So come on, bring your sub over here. V-Speed will kind of retire as a broadcasting channel, and will likely just be a place for any kind of video and stuff we put out. So come on over to V-Speed, check out some of the other leagues, check out some stuff that Bradley, Christian, Morgan, Adam Baker, all those guys are doing over here. A lot of really cool announcers, a lot of cool series, so go check those out. But here at the Monster Mile, man, Kenny Copeland going to get the win, and then we move on to next week. We take on Kansas, another one of my favorite tracks. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm Eddie Smith. Thank y'all so much for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed the broadcast, and we will see y'all next week. I want to thank our sponsors again for this race, the Ragin Cajun Bail Bonds 200. I want to thank them, as well as OB Builders, for their sponsorship of the Cup Series. We'll see y'all next week in Kansas.